The streets called, and Respawn has finally answered with changes to Ash and the Assault class. If you haven't seen, leakers have been going crazy on Twitter, dropping pretty much everything coming in Season 24. Overall, I think the changes they're making will be healthy for the game. I like how they're continuing to buff the whole cast and weapons, so we aren't stuck with like the same boring metas and stuff like that. Like, I like the bubble fighting, you know, Gibby being back in meta and stuff like that, but it got old quick. But anyways, this video is about Ash, and the info I've got, you either love to hear it or you'll hate to see it. Let's start off with the ultimate. They're finally fixing it, supposedly. This is the one thing I've been just asking and waiting for, because it's the biggest problem I had with Ash, and I would just complain all the time about how inconsistent she was compared to like everybody else and just as like a character itself. And before you guys ask, no, I wasn't asked or invited to playtest the Ash buff. I literally have zero knowledge on what's going on. Respawn, if you're watching this, need that invite, gang. This is all of my knowledge that I've seen on Twitter or, you know, my sources or whatnot. The ultimate now travels 125 meters. I believe it was around 70 or 75, or like right now. And not only that, you move faster while you're in the portal, so the speed of the portal to get to the other end is going to be way faster. And they also just hotfix the portal from like jumping around when you're trying to use it. That's the biggest issue I had, because it would just never place or it just never work. Literally, they could have stopped there and I would have been happy. That's the main thing I've been just dying for. But yeah, on top of that, you get the opportunity to get 2 alt charges with the perk upgrade. So honestly, this is like insane change. This is just going to help Ash dramatically, just off the bat. Like, I knew they were going to go hard when, you know, they finally decided to change Ash, but all these buffs look nutty. So I believe this might be a purple upgrade. I'm not very sure. So yeah, the devs cooked so far. I'm not going to lie. They could have stopped here. I would have been happy. But, you know, that wasn't enough. You know, Respawn likes to, you know, overbuff certain characters and force them into the meta. The next change they're making is to the tactical. From what this passage says, this snare will tether from its own location rather than the enemy's location. So at first I had no idea what this meant. I still kind of don't, but I'm gonna try to explain it the best I can to you guys. So instead of the snare continuing to go past the enemy, it's now gonna drop at their feet. So usually when you snare somebody, it would just give you the radius of the player model instead of the actual like snare range, because it, you know, it will go on the wall or go behind them. You'll be stuck in the snare range when it's on the ground. Like, I think this is a good change. I mean, I'm not sure how this will play in effect. Kind of hoping it's a quality of life change, but I don't think we should be really worried about it. Hopefully it's for the better. I'm assuming it is. I really wish I play tested this shit, because goddamn, so much. This next change could ruin all the movement for M&K players, and I'll explain why. The last thing Respawn decided to change was their passive. If you're unaware, there's been leaks about a dash tech coming to Ash. I was hella hyped when I saw this, but the way they went about it might not be the best, and you might be very disappointed. So first of all, they removed the data knife, so there's no more scanning boxes, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but boxes may still appear on the map, like your mini map, or just the map in general. But as far as scanning, I think it's cooked. So to replace that, they're actually adding an omni-directional dash called Predator's Pursuit. This will allow Ash to change direction very quickly, almost like a tap strafe. It's only for horizontal movement, so looking up and down won't change anything. It's basically a leap that goes like 12, 15 meters or something like that. But you can choose which direction based on the input you press. So if you want to go backwards, sideways, forward, you can just, you know, choose what you want. You will be able to keep your weapon out during the whole process. So kind of how like Rev was when he first dropped, but you know, they took that away. L Respawn. I don't fuck with that change, I'm not gonna lie. Lurch and tap strafing does work out of it, so, you know, no worry about that. If that wasn't the case, shit would be very cooked. It's set on a cooldown of 5 seconds, and you can choose to get 2, like I previously mentioned, if you get the perk upgrade. But I'm not sure, like, what order the perk upgrades are in, like, I don't know. But with all good things, something has to turn up, you know. Respawn can't just give us a clean buff, you know, no complaints, no worries. There's always something under it, and this is where it gets, you know, sketchy. Just like Valk's jetpack, the passive will be bound to jump. When I heard this was the case, this deadass ruined my whole day, bro. So for anyone trying to b-hop or use scroll wheel, all my M&K players, this might be the worst thing to ever happen. It won't be possible without flying across the map, because, you know, it's not bound to anything, so you're just going to be moving crazy. Obviously, it's not a hard change to make. You know, if Respawn, you know, listens to some of the playtesters, I recently talked to some of them, and they said that they did mention it to Respawn, and they said they would look into it. You know, when they say that, that could be either a year from now, or I don't even know, 2 years from now, bro. So it's not looking good, and I doubt they fix it or like change it to a keybind before the new season drops. But yeah, like I was saying, this is the most disappointing thing they could have done. There's a reason why no MK players play Valk unless you're in ALGS, bro. It's basically gonna nerf 90% of our movement at the cost of getting the greatest buff like Ashe mains have ever seen. You know, there's always a catch. Like, I don't even understand. Yeah, hopefully they look into this. Respawn, if you're seeing this, we need that new passive bound to something. Please, bro. You can't just keep catering to the casual roller 3 stacks. But regardless of the fact this buff looks insane, I'm super happy that we get a movement ability and like these 2 ultimate charges, bro. Like, this shit is nuts. Regardless of it being bound to keybind or not, and to actually use it in game, this will be a super crazy thing to see. And to actually use it in game, like, I'm super excited. I mean, if they do take it into consideration about binding something, this could be the greatest buff, you know, a character's like ever seen. Am I glazing? Maybe a little bit, because I'm hyped that I'm finally getting a rework, like a major buff, bro. This is like a big day for Ashe mains, bro. From all these changes I've seen so far, it is essentially a rework. I don't know if they're labeling it as that. They're changing a lot about the character, but nothing extremely broken. Like day 1 Rev, like Rev Reborn, that shit was broken off patch notes, literally, bro. Like, I knew that shit was gonna be nutty. Shout out Guapi, bro. But, you know, time will tell. If it is broken, you know, fuck it, you know. Yeah, with that being said, I'm definitely happy it's our time. We finally get to eat. We've been starving since season 11. And I know they gave us like a pity like snare buff, or like they just did that because of like the perk upgrades. They finally gave us something. But now it's our time. And I pray, bro, that this passive is a healthy change and figure out how to bind it to something, because, bro, that is a necessity. I feel like Ashe has always been good, but you're kind of like forced to play her a certain way to get like the most out of her. But now it's just up to being super creative, and I'm just ready for all of it. Yeah, I'll lose my mind next Tuesday when the season drops. I can't move at all without flying across the map, bro. I will freak out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little yap sesh. Me talking about like certain stuff. Maybe I'll drop some more videos like this. But I figured you guys want to see what I thought about the buffs, how it's going to go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to give me your thoughts. Are you guys happy? Are you guys disappointed? Talk to me. But yeah, anyways, I'll catch y'all.